Hello and welcome to the channel. It has been revealed that only 27% of eligible Nigerian voters participated in the last week's presidential election. Despite various media outlets stating that Nigerians came out en masse to exercise their franchise, it turned out the turnout was actually poor, compared to in 2019 when an impressive 53.7% participated in the elections. Let's give you an insight on these new statistics. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Hashtag Nigeria Decides 2023. Only 27% of eligible voters decides who becomes Nigeria's presidential election. Only 25,286,616, about 28.63% of all eligible voters in Nigeria participated in last Saturday's presidential election, the election data are shown. There are a total of 93,469,008 registered voters in Nigeria, but only 87,209,007, 93.3%, collected their permanent voter cards, PVCs, making them the only ones eligible to vote in the 2023 general elections, according to the Electoral Commission, INEC. Last Saturday, the presidential and National Assembly elections were held across the country, and the governorship and state houses of assembly elections scheduled for 11 March. However, by the total number of accredited voters, the elections data shows that only 28.63% of all eligible voters participated in the February elections. The low turnout of voters have characterized Nigerian elections and have witnessed a steady decline which reached a new low during last week's presidential and National Assembly elections. In 2011, voter turnout was at what can now be described as an impressive 53.7% of the voting population. By 2015, it dropped to 43.7% and 34.75% in 2019. The data analyzed by Premium Times revealed that all the 18 candidates in the February elections received a total 24,025,940 votes, which is 27.55% of the eligible voters. The top four candidates, APC's ballot, PDP's Atiku Abubakar, LP's Peter Obi, and NNPP's Rabiu Kwankwanso, got 23,377,466, or 26.81% of all eligible voters, and 97.30% of the total number of the total valid votes, that is, the total number of votes received by all political parties involved in the elections, excluding rejected votes. The cumulative votes of the remaining 14 political parties was 648,474, or 2.70% of the total valid votes. Mr. Tinubu, the winner of the election, has a total of 8,794,726 votes, which accounts for 36.61% of total votes and 10.8% of all eligible voters. Meanwhile, 939,278 votes, or 3.76% of the total votes cast, were rejected. Also called invalid votes, a vote is rejected when the choice of the voter is not clear or when the voter selected multiple parties on the same ballot paper. This is lower compared to 1,289,607, or 4.51% of 28,614,190 total votes cast, rejected votes in the previous 2019 elections. Borno, Delta, and Cross River states have the highest number of rejected votes when compared with the total number of the votes cast in the individual states. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Leading on this list is Borno State, which has the highest number of rejected votes with 32,658, or 6.56% of the 497,945 total votes cast in the state rejected. In Delta, 39,000 309 or 6% of the total 654,650 votes cast in the state were rejected. In Cross River, 24,606 or 5.57% of the total 441,576 votes cast in the state were rejected. Anambra, Ekiti, and Plateau have the least number of rejected votes with 1.72%, 2%, and 2.7% of the total votes cast of the states, respectively. In the meantime, votes were cancelled in at least 1,566 polling units with 886,026 eligible voters, according to the data gathered from the pronouncements of the state collation officers at the National Collation Center, Abuja. The cancelled votes make up at least 3.55% of the total votes cast. Votes are considered cancelled in polling units where the voting procedures are violated. In almost all the states, it is due to overvoting, according to the collation officers. Overvoting happens when the total number of votes cast in a polling unit exceeds the number of accredited voters on the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS. Other reasons, according to the state collation officers, are refusal of voters to use the BVAS or bypassing of the BVAS, insecurity, disruption of voting activities, violence, threat of violence, malfunctioning of the BVAS, and the destruction of voting materials. When any of these happens, the result of the polling unit is cancelled. Therefore, the number of cancelled votes in this place refers to the total number of eligible voters in such polling units or regions. That is, total number of collected PVCs in the region of polling units. Also, the data on cancelled votes used in this story is limited to the pronouncements by the state's collation officers at the National Collation Center. It is also limited to 28 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. We couldn't get the total number of cancelled votes in Adamawa, Jigawa, Lagos, Enugu, Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Kwara, and Ekiti states, as their respective state collation officers did not specify when announcing results. According to the available data, the Northwest region recorded the highest number of cancelled votes with 408,511 or 46.11% of the cancelled votes. It is followed by the North Central where 196,213 or 22.15% of the total cancelled votes were recorded. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.